Thank you. I appreciate the intro. Lovely to be here, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for making a little bit of time available in your life to prioritize your mental health. As Brandon said, I am an entrepreneur. I've run an agency for 15 years. I've been running a consultancy for 2 years, just over 2 years now. And like all of you, have had to deal with the realities of a very strange world for the last 24 months or so. And I think that's the reason why the need for a masterclass of this nature has come up. So we have been delivering content on various developmental programs for the last 2 years. And for me personally, over the last 6 months or so, what I'm finding coming up as a common topic over and over again is this topic of mental health. And more entrepreneurs are saying, I'm just not coping, I'm just not happy, I'm just feeling really stressed. And I'd like us to just spend some time with it. Welcome, Noma, Sibusiso, Nogo, MC, Kuselwa, Amisha. Lovely to have all of you with me. Some of the names are familiar to me. Some of you have sat in classes with me. So I'd like us to start by having a little bit of a chat. We've got a nice intimate room of people. So please feel free to unmute. I'd also, if possible, if you can, it would be lovely for you to put your cameras on. I'm going to be teaching you some breathing techniques. We're going to go into a little bit of I'm definitely introducing you to meditation. I know some of you had spoken to me about feeling quite stressed and needing some help in that space of meditation, using it as a tool, or understanding it better to just cope better in life. So I want to hear from you, and I'll start with a familiar name to me. Sibusiso, let's say hi and tell me what's happening from a mental health perspective. Why are you here?
Good afternoon, colleagues. Thank you so much, Raksha, for the opportunity. So far, so good. So far, so good. I'm much better since we last spoke. Since I brought up my issue, I'm feeling much better. I've been praying a lot, so I think there has been that has changed my situation. But the reason I was feeling anxious and nervous, and I think anxious basically is just I felt like things were just not going well in terms of the business. Literally, there was a time where I felt like I'm literally days away from losing everything that I've built for the past 7 years, you know. So, and it was a tough reality to deal with, especially being a young entrepreneur with no proper mentorship before you and Bay came into our lives. So yeah, I think that was my fear, and things were not, if I can go into a little bit of more detail, what I mean when I say things were not going well, I would say it's just there was a series of, what can I say? There was a series of bad events that has been happening for like a good, I think it's 10 months. For a good 10 months, like every single month, you're trying your best. You're like, you've used up all of your reserves, your cash reserves. Now you're working on a day-to-day finance basis. Things are just not going according to plan, no matter how hard you're trying. So that was a scary reality for me. So yeah, that was what was going on. But I would say from last month, things have started to feel a little bit better. Things are not going good, but I feel a lot more better. And I think that is also helping me just navigate through the challenges, because I can think clearly,
Thanks, Sibisi. So thank you so much for sharing. And, just to even start off our session and to share with that sort of openness and vulnerability is just it speaks so much to where you're at and what you are needing. Thank you for allowing yourself to be vulnerable and sharing that. I have to tell you, I think that so many of us can relate to that feeling, Sibisi. So yesterday in the afternoon, late in the evening, I got a message from a cousin of mine who said, I know it's late, I know you're tired or you're probably busy, but please just make 5 minutes available for me. I need to talk. I'm having a terrible time. And so I made a call to her and she said, Exactly, similar to what you're saying. It just feels like a series of horrible things is happening and it's not stopping. And she went, this happened and that happened and this went wrong. And that person I feel doesn't trust me. And this person doesn't do that. And this fell apart and this financial thing. And sometimes in life, these things happen. Hey, it's a season where we feel like I'm losing a loved one. I've lost my clients. My business is not running. My physical health is feeling compromised. And it feels like it's piling on. And I think that's exactly where this body of work becomes so important, or this level of awareness becomes non-negotiable in our lives. Where am I at from a mental health perspective? Because all of those things outside, we don't really have control over. Whether there's going to be floods in KZN and the walls are going to fall away, whether there's going to be a pandemic, whether we're going to lose our biggest client. Like, there's so many things in this world that we simply do not have control over. And the most empowering thing, the point to realize is, actually, the only thing I may have some degree of control over is what's happening here, what's happening here in the system. And as a result, by influencing what's happening here, I'm able to shift and change what's happening outward. So, I'm so glad. Thank you for sharing. And thank you for also sharing how it's shifting for you. I think that's important. And hopefully we'll teach you a couple of tools today to help you keep it there.
I look forward to learning as much as I can. Thank you.
Great. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing. How's it, Tabiso? Are you there?
Hi, Raksha, how are you?
Good. How's it going?
Good. Trying to connect here. My headsets are not going in, and my wife is also in a meeting, so I'm running around.
Okay. You go back on mute then, run around, sort out the headset and the sound around you. I'm just saying hi, checking in, pleased that you joined us. And I think, if you could find a slightly quiet space to sit in for this session, it's going to serve you well. Okay, everyone else in the room, would anyone else like to share? Why are you here? What's happening? Nogo.
Yes, thank you very much for this wonderful session that we have today. There's quite a number of things that happened in one's life, and at times, one end up being extremely anxious. You overthink things,
Yes.
Yeah, like when you are just starting a business and with no background in business and all of that, just being a techie, you you basically think everything is going to go exactly how you planned it to go, and at a later stage you realize that things don't always work the way you project them to go. So and then also COVID. I was hospitalized with COVID in 2021. It had a serious knock on my health and impacted my business in a big way. And then also, it's like everything collapsed at the same time. Even marriage collapsed, finances collapsed, business was going south. It was quite a number of things, but luckily for me, it never got to a point wherein I'm depressed, because at some stage in my life I would think that I was depressed, and I decided, you know what, and it basically impacted my health in a negative way, and I took a conscious decision to say, you know what, what's the point of being depressed, because you can't even think of solutions to come out of it. You can't even think of solutions for the future. So I decided, you know what, I'm just going to control my mind and make sure that I don't get to that level. I just ignore some things. When some things have collapsed, I'll just ignore it. I'll just work on the solution. Rather than thinking that things have collapsed, I don't know how I'm going to work them around and all that. I constantly focus on how am I going to improve this? How am I going to come up with solutions to deal with this thing? So yeah. But the only thing that still puzzles me, even to this date, I think, is just overthinking things. But I don't allow it to depress me. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. Thanks for sharing, Noko. Thank you for sharing. And I hear you, and I can understand that it's been a really heavy time. It sounds like a lot's been going on. And again, like I spoke to at the start, it almost feels like it piles on, it compounds. And it's amazing how you say this. This thought is that actually the only thing I have control over is the state of my mind, and making the choice that I'm not going to be depressed. But at the same time, when you speak about overthinking, we'll talk about that a little bit more, and how that causes exhaustion on a mental level. And as a result, how that takes strain in all areas of your life. So to the rest of you who I haven't chatted to one-on-one yet, we will chat throughout the session, but I think we must jump in and just start talking about the space of mental health and mindfulness. The first thing I want every single one of you to do is, without thinking too much, right at the top of your head, I want you to think of one word describing how you are feeling right now. One word. Have we got it? Type it in the chat box and send it to me, please, right now. How are you feeling right now? One word. No right answer, no wrong answer, no judgment. It's just how you are feeling. Good. Okay. So I'm getting some grateful. I'm getting a couple of overwhelmed. I'm getting some excited. I'm getting some anxious, some exhausted, a bit of joy, uncertain. And I think you must agree with me, just looking into this chat, it's such a depiction of us in this world. We are moving around in our lives in this world. We are engaging with other people all the time. But look, everyone's coming with their story. Everyone's coming with where they are at in this world today at 3:15 on Wednesday, the 8th of June. And I have this expectation, no, you must meet me where I'm at. If I'm happy and joyful and bouncy and I want to go for a run on the beach, you must be ready to go and run for that. Or if I'm ready and joyful and I want to work on this new client pitch, you must do that with me. And actually, every single one of us has our own story and our own journey that we working through. And we often, when we are this exhausted or this anxious or this tired, we simply do not have the capacity, the strength, the capability to understand where someone else is at and show compassion and empathy towards them. So I'd like you to remember that one word. We're going to keep it in our chat. And for today, I want us to focus on a couple of things. Remember, I was saying there's so many things outside of us. Today, you're going to spend the next hour and 45 minutes with me, and we are going inward. So I'm going to give you a couple of guidelines. If you can, it would be nice if you're sitting comfortably in a chair, a nice chair. It would be nice if you're sitting upright, not lying lazily on a bed where your energy is not here and focused with me. If you want to sit on the floor, on a yoga mat or a chair, just so that you're nice and you're focused and you're with me. It would be very nice if you are in a room where there aren't any distractions. I know in today's life, we don't always have that advantage or that benefit of just our own quiet space. But if you can, if you have a room with a door that you can close and get into, let's make our way over to there. It would be lovely if we could keep our phones on silent, because this is the biggest distraction and pulls us out of our mind when we're trying to go inward. And if you feel like it, you can put your videos on. I'm going to teach you a couple of techniques. I would love to see that you're following them, because they are literally breathing techniques that I'm going to show you. And the only way for me to know that you got it is for me to see you, but we'll try for that a little later. So I want you to answer two questions for me. The first one: what causes stress in your life? What is it that causes stress in your life? Think about that. And then I want you to think, what is it that you want to gain from your life? What is it that causes stress in your life? And what is it that you want to gain in your life? Good. So those answers are top of mind for you. I want you to either type them into the chat box for me, or to unmute and simply answer. Chat to me. I'm here, human. connection, one-on-one. What is it that causes stress?
Okay.
No, go.
Yeah. Wait.
You on mute, Noko.
Okay, I think for me it's uncertainty, like unknown.
Yeah.
Yes, it's what causes stress
Okay.
for me. Yeah.
Okay. And what do you want to gain in this life? What do you want to gain from this life?
Basically, how to not think too much. You know, there are certain things that you don't have control over, such as you know, COVID and you know, floods and all of those things. Those are external factors we don't have control over. So, but you know, when they happen, they impact our lives in a negative way, and eventually, you know, they contribute towards stress as well.
Okay. Thank you for sharing, Noko. Sibusiso, a quick raised hand as soon as I ask the questions. Go for it.
Yes, so I'd like to just start my video if I can. Oh yeah, there you go. So what causes stress in my life? So like Mr. Manaka, it is uncertainty. I think not knowing what tomorrow holds, it can be a gift and a curse. But I think especially in business, you don't want to live in uncertainty. So yeah. And then number two, what I would like to gain in this life, I think it is, I don't want to say financial freedom, but I think finances does play a big role. But I think what I'd like to gain is freedom, basically. So, once I start a family, I'd like to be able to just knock off at 12 o'clock and go enjoy my son's football match or my daughter's netball match. You know, if there is another COVID or lockdown situation, I'd like to be able to not go to work in that period of lockdown and still be comfortable. So
Okay.
yeah, that's what I'd like to achieve freedom.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing that. Or your daughter's football match.
Oh, my daughter, that's true. Oh, my
Thank
son's
you.
netball match.
Okay. Thanks, Visiso. So thanks, those of you who have popped in a little later. Welcome, Steph, Sonwabo, Tuli. Lovely to have you here. We're starting to work our way from the outer world, all the situations and circumstances around us, and we're working our way slowly into our inner world. And the way we're doing that is by starting a little bit of introspection, going within, starting to understand that. I had asked everyone to put in our chat box one word describing how they are feeling right now. So for those of you who joined a little later and you've just popped into the room, please put in your one word on how you are feeling right now in the chat. Anyone else want to share with us their feedback around what causes stress in your life? I'm seeing a theme here just with the two gents already. And then what is it that you want to gain?
Hello.
Majaji.
Yes, hello. I get stressed when I feel like I'm losing control of things. I always want to have control. If I'm not having control, then I stress. And then what I would like to gain out of life, simply just a better management of my life, every area of my life.
Okay, lovely. Thank you for answering that for us. Okay. Anticipation and anxiety. Wow, opposite ends. Okay, lovely. So I'm asking you these questions, guys. Once again, no right answer, no wrong answer, and there doesn't need to be any kind of reservation around sharing in this room. I am telling you that this is a safe space, and we've created a safe space for us to share and chat about this stuff. So these two questions, what is it that causes stress in your life and what do you want to gain in your life? I want you to really just think about it for yourself, because I don't know if we've ever really taken the time out to assess, I'm feeling irritable, I'm feeling angry, I'm feeling anxious, I'm feeling moody, I'm feeling hungry, whatever it is for you, how stress manifests. But do you really get to the bottom of what is causing the stress? And it's so lovely for me to hear these common themes that are coming up around uncertainty, loss of control. I'm sure the rest of you are feeling aspects of that too. And then what do we want to gain in life? So it's this juxtaposition, this pull between where I'm at and where I ideally want to be. Just muting you, Lucky. Welcome. Good. So I want you to think on this with me for a few minutes. The power of our breath. I don't know if you've ever thought about the power that your breath has in your life. Do you know from the moment, what's the only one constant in your life? Still exhausted, Sonwabo. I hear you from a few days ago. The only one constant in your life from your moment of birth right until the moment that you depart from this plane, what is the one constant that's with you in your life? It is your breath. It is your breath. So whatever's happening in your life, people come, people go, situations come and go, businesses come and go, money comes and goes, clients come and go, people come and go, food, weight, whatever. The one constant that you have in your life with you is your breath. Have you ever thought about how your breath influences your emotions? Your breath influences how you are feeling. So now you all have written one word and sent it to me around how you are feeling, right? Whether it's, as Steph says, restless, or some of you are saying anxious, overwhelmed. I want you to almost start to pay attention to how you are breathing, how you are breathing. So have you ever given, let me see who's trying to chat there. Tuli, I'm going to put you on mute. Or did you want to add anything here, Tuli? Just going to put you, or Brandon, you can get Tuli on mute for us. So have you ever thought about how you breathe when you are feeling different emotions? So anyone have an idea on how you breathe when you are really angry? Angry. How does the breathing happen? We breathe rapid. I am going to show that person what they did. I am going to make them see who I am, blah, 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 whatever. There's so much of words coming out of the system that we forget what's actually happening with the breath. Then, have you ever thought about how you breathe when you're feeling really low, you're really sad, you're really depressed? The breathing takes that exact, it's a sigh. It's also long and slow and drawn out. Have you ever thought about how you breathe when you're happy? Happy, excited, everything is going my way, everything is flowing. You breathe as light as a feather. You're not even aware that you are breathing. And then what about, I'm driving home alone at night. I'm a single woman driving in the dark and my car breaks down and I'm on the side of the road in this dark, deserted, dingy place. And I suddenly get really fearful. I'm really like, what the heck is going to happen? My phone is dead. I can't make a call. I'm really scared. I'm getting a little bit fearful and scared. What happens to the breathing then? You know, you actually stop breathing. You hold your breath or you breathe shallower than you would normally breathe to the bottom of your lungs. So this absolute power of the breath in our lives is here with us permanently. And I want to switch that on for you today. Is you are all talking to me about, I don't have control over things in my life. What's the word? I have uncertainty in my life. Those are realities of life. Those situations in life are the absolute realities. And the certainties of life is that it will be uncertain and it will change. And that situations around you are not controllable. So what are the tools that we can use to help to start to guide that? And one of the very, very important ones is the breath. You know, in our lives, when we were growing up, we went to school or our community around us taught us how to do certain things. We were taught how to read, how to write, how to walk, how to bark, eat, feed ourselves, all of these different skills that we learned to function in the world. But nobody ever taught us what to do with our emotions. Like when you're feeling so angry, you're feeling so overwhelmed, no one has ever said to us, this is how we can help. This is what we need to do right now. And that is what I want us to dip into today. There's a cool story that I heard about two monks. You know, it's a monk, a holy man. Yeah. There's two monks walking on the side of a river. They're walking along the side of a river. And, you know, they're holy men of the cloth. And here is this woman standing on the side of the river. And she goes, oh, she's just in a bit of a state because she can't cross the river. She doesn't want to get wet. And, you know, these are holy men. They're not supposed to have interaction with women. They're never supposed to touch a woman. The one monk simply picks up the woman, holds her above his head, walks across the water, puts her down, comes back and continues walking. He continues walking with his other monk friend. And the other monk is really quiet. He's like, what went on there now? He's so quiet, and they're walking and walking and walking alongside each other for a while. So this one monk says to him, why are you so quiet? Like, what's going on? And he said, I cannot believe what you did. I cannot believe that you actually physically held a woman, touched her, and then lifted her and put her on the other side of the river. And the first monk simply said, well, I put her down all the way back there. I put her down. Would you like to put her down too? So many times in our lives, we unnecessarily carry these heavy weights for nothing. The story was over. The monk had no impure intentions. His intention was very monkly. He just wanted to help. But it was the other monk who had negative thoughts that thought, this is going to influence him. This is going to somehow create something in his mind that's going to make him want to, I don't know, be around a woman more. So in our lives, how often do incidences occur where we simply have the choice to put it down? I have to tell you guys, I practice a lot of this personally in my life. And if, like me, you come from a community where there is a lot, I mean, growing up in an Indian community, there's family and there's friends and there's lots of involvement in everybody's lives. Like everyone has an opinion of what you're doing and how you're doing it and how you should be doing it or why you should be doing it. And then people like us go and decide to start a business on top of that. So now there's a whole new community of people with judgment saying, why are you doing your business like this? Why are you doing your business like that? Don't you think you should try this? Or don't you think you should try that's better? This is better. There's so much of uninvited feedback that comes to us in our lives. I have to tell you, it is the most liberating experience when you are able to simply drop it. You can simply choose to drop it. Simply choose to drop it. So I want to teach you a breathing technique. A breathing technique that is designed to give us a short, sharp burst of energy into the system. It's called the Energizer breath. Do you know that on average, each day, an individual will consume up to 2 kgs of food, up to 2.5 liters of water, and you breathe 10,000 liters of air every day? Do you know that 90% of your nutrition actually comes from air? And this affects our brain and our entire endocrine system. Our system that eliminates the toxins is affected hugely by this air. So I really want us to start thinking about the quality of our breath and the volume of air that we are getting into our system, because that then influences how we function in the world. Quick question. When I ask people this question, what's our most precious resource in life? What do you think the most precious thing is that we have in our lives? Our most precious resource? Most precious resource? Time, Brandon. That used to be my instinctive answer. I felt that my whole life was always racing time and I could never have enough. Anybody else got some answers in the chat box, or feel free to unmute. Let me hear from you. I haven't heard from you yet, Sonwabo, Tuli, Sharon, Lucky, Rinya.
Yes, Raksha. Most valuable resource, I would say health.
Health. Nice, I like it. Thanks, Sonwabo. Lucky is going health, a healthy mindset. Aviva is going health. So I like that answer. And if we were to take health as an extension, Kuselwa, your mind, thank you. An extension of that would be energy. Wouldn't you say, in order to do time, in order to do life, in order to do everything that we need to get done in life, the most precious resource that we need is energy. I've got to have the energy to get it done. So where do we get energy from? Where do we get energy from? Obvious ones, guys.
Food.
Food. Thank you. Who said that? Noko.
Yes, that's me.
The obvious one is food, definitely. Absolutely. Number one at the top of the list, and most of our favorite, is food. Kuselwa says your environment. Anyone else? I feel like I'm running out of energy. What do I need to do to replenish my energy? The thing that
It's a positive mindset also.
Okay, a positive mindset. Amisha says exercise. Giovanni says rest. Giovanni, the quality of resources you place in the body and surroundings, break and rests. Thank you, Giovanni. Thank you for sharing that. So the one very obvious one that we need to do every single day is sleep every single night. Yeah, my energy gets depleted by the evening. I need to sleep. Some of us as entrepreneurs, not good if we're having sleepless nights. I was on LinkedIn this morning and someone was talking about their journey and he said, but please don't follow me because I don't sleep for 2 nights in a row. I'm absolutely not an advocate for that, not in any way. If we can take care of ourselves and replenish ourselves in the right way, the quality of what we produce is far better. So we got food, we got sleep. 2 more sources of energy. The one I've spoken about already is the breath, definitely the breath. And the final one is a calm and meditative mind. Guys, I am not saying this to sound like an ancient yogi or like a airy-fairy someone from Hippieville, but you have to agree with me that if there is someone who has a calm and meditative mind and the world is giving them all sorts of feedback, incidents, situations happening, upsets, losing money, client, getting sick, people, and if they have a calm and meditative mind, they are able to cope better than someone who gets pulled in every time. Oh my goodness, why is this happening? Oh my goodness, I lost the client. Oh my goodness, my account is overdrawn. How am I going to pay this bill? How am I going to get the job? How am I going to... The energy level depletes as the worry increases. So we're going to do 2 things now. We're going to learn and energize our breath. And then we're going to go into an exercise where I'm going to take you into a calm and meditative state of mind quickly. Good. Everyone with me? Let me see thumbs up. A bit different on here. Hey, Samwabo and Tuli than our usual MS Teams. Thank you, Brenda. Good, lovely. Good. So this is called the energizer breath. So there's breathing and there's an action that we're going to do with the breathing. So I'm going to come closer and you're going to watch and you're going to listen to how I'm breathing. The mouth is closed. Any sort of mindfulness or breath work that you do, the quickest way to get yourself to go inside is to close the eyes. Because we consume information visually now more than ever in the history of time. Now we consume information visually. We are constantly pulled into every platform that wants to show us pictures and videos and stories of all sorts of things. The quickest way to go inside, switch all of that off, is close the eyes. Close the eyes. All breath work is done through the nostrils. The mouth is made for eating. So breath work through the nostrils. Close the mouth, close the eyes. We're simply going to breathe in and out, but we're going to breathe in short, sharp bursts of in and out. So when we breathe in, we're going to breathe as if, you know, when you have the flu and you do a sniff, like that. So it's a sniff. And then when we exhale, we're also going to exhale with a little bit of force. So you may need a tissue if you've got any surplus sitting in the nostrils already. So grab one if you need to. But that's essentially the breath, right? It's with the breathing is a hand movement. The hand movement is merely to help us direct the breath into the areas of the body that is going to bring us a sharp burst of energy. So with an inhale, we're going to lift the hands up. With an exhale, we're going to pull the hands down. The starting position is hands in loose fists in front of the shoulder blades. Your elbows are loosely tucked on either side of the body. When I breathe in, I'm going to throw my hands straight up and I'm going to open up my palms. So my palms are opened up like that. And when I breathe out, I'm going to drop my hands down and close my fists again. So I'm going to show you what this looks like. And then I'm going to come here and count as you do it. So I'm going to do all the work. I'm going to do all the counting. You guys are just going to breathe for me. So this is the starting position. So watch first. Breathe in, out. In, out. In, out. Right. Is everybody with me? Everybody got it? Show me. Let me see with a thumb that you got it. Lovely. Good. So this is the energizer breath. So you're going to sit in a chair, upright, feet firmly planted on the ground. You're going to keep your spine erect. You're going to close your eyes. Lovely. Thanks, Kuselwa. If anyone else feels like putting their camera on, please do, then I can see and I know that you're doing it right. All you're going to do is listen to me counting. You need not do anything else other than breathe, move your hands and listen to me counting. We're going to do a set of 15 breaths. We're going to do 3 sets of 15. Be a bit forceful with your breath. We want to direct that oxygen quickly to the brain. Good. So hands in the starting position, loose fists facing outwards in front of the shoulders, elbows loosely tucked in at your side. And let's close the eyes. Elbows a little, fists a little bit higher in front of the shoulders there, Rinya. There we go. Okay, lovely. Let's close the eyes. Now everybody, Mone, I'm putting you on mute. There we go. And you're in the call twice. So we just need to mute that other profile there, Brandon. Mone. Okay. So everyone, let's close our eyes and just listen to the sound of my voice. Take a slow, normal breath in and breathe out. And for the energizer breath, let's breathe in, out, 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 in, out. Keep the eyes closed. Rest your hands on your knees or your thighs, your palms facing up to the sky. Keep your eyes closed. And just become aware. Become aware of any sensation in your body, in your head, in your system. Just become aware of what's happened with a few deep breaths. And let's raise our hands again, shoulders in front, fists in front of the shoulder blades, fist facing outwards. And let's get ready for the second round of the energizer breath. Let's start by taking a normal breath in and breathe out. And for the energizer breath, a strong, forceful breath in, out, 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 in, out. Last one, in and out. Again, keep the eyes closed. Rest your hands on your knees or your thighs, your palms open, facing up to the sky. And just become aware of any sensations in your body. And let's take position for the final round of the Energizer breath. Your palms in loose fists in front of your shoulder blades. Your spine upright, eyes closed. Take a normal breath in and breathe out. And for the Energizer breath, breathe in, out, 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 and relax. Rest your palms on your knees or your thighs, facing up to the sky. Keep your eyes closed and become aware of any sensations in your body. And when you feel ready, very gradually, slowly and gently, you may open your eyes. Welcome back from a short trip inside. So thank you to those of you that I could see. I want to know again now in one word, how are you feeling? Become aware of how you are feeling physically, emotionally, mentally. Please either type a word in the chat box, one word in the box, or unmute and tell me how you are feeling. Kuselwa, do you want to talk to me? Tell me how you're feeling.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Hey.
I actually feel very light and relaxed. Yeah.
Okay. I'm happy to hear that you feel light and relaxed. Thanks, Kuselwa. Sharon, how are you feeling? You there, Sharon? I saw you for a while we were breathing. Okay, if not you, Majaji.
Hi, I'm feeling lighter, much lighter.
Thank you for sharing. So it's interesting for me in this box where I'm reading lighter, calm, fresh, calm, energized, at peace. Spasiso says so relaxed. And what did we do, guys, to achieve this state of mind? Suddenly, all we did was access the power of the breath. That was all we did. And, you know, I find that often when it comes to mental health and mental health awareness, and especially because it can be quite a stigmatized thing in society to say, oh, I need to see a psychologist, I need to see a psychiatrist, I need to see a therapist, I need help because I'm simply not coping. It really does not have to be as complex or as judgmental as that. So much of what we need to help us to cope with that sits right here within this body. And if we are not able to help ourselves feel better with the tools of our breath, our mind, our body, then there's absolutely no harm in seeking out the help as and when we need it. For now, we've experienced a simple technique that's helping us to feel lighter, to feel fresher, to energize us with breath. So I want to leave you with the energizer breath as a tool. I don't want you to forget it. And at any point in your life, in your day, when you need to pick up your energy, you're going into a big presentation, we're going into a pitch, I have to write an exam, something's going on and I'm just tired. Please do that energizer breath. Do 15 or 20 and do 3 sets of it. And close your eyes, give yourself the gift of going inward and really give it your all in terms of that breath. So you're really getting your energy refreshed into your brain and as a result into your system. So I want to talk about 3 states that we live in, guys. Anyone have any idea of the 3 states that we live in or the 3 places that we live in? Anyone got any ideas? Kaylin, hi.
Hi. I would say the mind, the body, and the soul.
Nice. Thanks, Kaylin. Thanks for sharing. The spaces that we live in the mind, in the body, and in the soul. Absolutely. So in terms of where our mind lives, Noko, did you want to add? No.
No, basically I was going to say roughly the same thing, I think.
Okay. Thanks. Yeah. Thank you. Amisha says in your head, in your heart, and in your gut. That's so beautiful. Again, there's an aspect of mind, body, and soul coming through there, and gut speaking to intuition. So from a mind perspective, in our mind, the 3 places that our mind lives in is the past, the present, and the future. I want to challenge you. For the next, it's now 10 to 4, between now and the time we finish, I want you to be aware of which of those 3 spaces you are living in. I'm going to check in with you before we close off the call today. I'm going to make a note for myself. Brandon, if I don't remember, remind me to ask about the 3 spaces. So for those of us that live in the past a lot, oh, the good old days. Do you remember when our children could walk barefoot in the street when there wasn't any crime and a loaf of bread cost 17 cents? For those of us that live in the past, we tend to glorify. There's a lot of glorification, and we also live sometimes with a bit of regret if we live in the past all the time. Oh, how I wish life could still be like that. Then there's those of us, and I have to tell you, I'm definitely more guilty of this, is I live a lot of my life in the future. I'm such a planner, and I've had to learn how to also trust the flow of life, that there is uncertainty and that there is some degree of freedom and flexibility, this loss of control that needs to happen when you have trust and faith in this world around us. For those of us that live in the future, there is anxiety and stress predominantly, because what am I going to do if that happens? What am I going to do if that doesn't happen? How am I going to manage that? How am I going to get that? What if this client comes through? How am I going to deliver it? What if this client doesn't come through? How am I going to deliver it? So there's this tendency towards a lot more anxiety if we live in the future. When we live in the past, it's associated with regret and glorification. When we live in the future, it's associated with a lot of anxiety, stress, projection. In all of these spaces, I'm giving you the negative emotions. The positives are that there can be some joy there as well. But the predominant pattern of the mind when we function in these spaces is to cling to the negative. And the place where we can access the most amount of energy, vitality, joy, and life is right here in the present moment. Right here in the present moment. So, some of us will sleep. We'll go to sleep early. We will have a full night's sleep And we will get up in the morning and we'll go, oh, I'm exhausted. I'm so tired. I've slept the whole night, but I am just so tired. I have a dear friend at the moment who's going through a divorce, and she tells me I'm just so tired. She's taking a pill to sleep, so she is getting the sleep, but it is the mental exhaustion that is making her tired. So how do we deal with that mental exhaustion? That mental exhaustion is because your mind is running. Your mind is running. Can you imagine? Some of you have spoken about this as well. Those of us who have lost loved ones, or those of us who are going through a divorce, living in the past of, oh, this marriage used to be amazing. This relationship used to be wonderful. Oh, he used to love me so much. She used to love me so much. She used to make these promises to care for me forever. And then projecting to the future. Oh, I thought we were going to be together forever. Now, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? I'm all alone. How am I going to raise the children? How am I going to pay the bills? How am I going to transport it from here to there? Can you see in these extra stressful, life-changing scenarios, the tendency is not to live in the present moment. The tendency is even heightened that I'm living from past to future, past to future, past to future, past to future, past to future. So even when I'm sleeping, when I get up in the morning, I have this sense of absolute exhaustion, because even when you're sleeping, the mind is going, oh, I'm not going to let you rest. We need to now plan how we're going to get this done when the fees need to be paid, or when the whatever needs to happen. So really the quickest way to bring yourself back to the present moment is through the breath. It's through the breath. And I was talking to you about this energizer breath. That's definitely one of the techniques. I'm going to take you into another breathing technique that I want you to stay with me on, because it's a little bit complex, but I want you to stay with me because the benefits of it are absolutely amazing, absolutely amazing. And when we do this energizer breath, remember, incoming breath increases your energy and outgoing breath relaxes you. So when we do this energizer breath, we breathing in, we're filling our body with energy, and we're breathing out to release toxins. And as a result of that, we are relaxing the body. So up to 90% of our toxins gets removed. The other 10% is through excretion and sweat, but 90% of our removal of toxins actually happens through effective breathing. It's a fact, it's scientific, all the evidence sits there. So I really, really want to switch on for you your awareness around the breath and its importance in your life. So I want to teach us a breathing technique. It's called the alternate nostril breathing. It's a little bit strange. So like I said, I want you to watch me. And what it's basically doing is, it is forcing us to breathe. Do this, everybody. Put your finger under your nostrils and exhale. And I want you to do it a few times. And I want you to see if your left nostril or your right nostril is more dominant. Because at any time of the day, either your left nostril or your right nostril is dominant. There is no time where both nostrils are functioning equally. And this is dependent on what's happening in the system. We know that the left brain is associated with one aspect and the right brain is associated with one aspect, one being associated with logic, reason, and functioning, the other being associated with creativity and innovation. So at any point in the day, our brain says, I need a little bit more of that, or we in this situation, we need to function here. So it activates that side, that hemisphere of the brain to function more. So I want you to just show me with the thumbs up that I know you're with me. Have you checked which nostril is more active? Left or right nostril? Right nostril dominant for you, Brandon. Thank you. So I see we've got a lot of lefts. Yeah, good. Thank you. So in this breathing, what we're going to do is we're going to force ourselves to breathe either through the left or the right nostril. And how we're going to do this is by controlling the in and outflow of the breath using our fingers. So it's called the alternate nostril breathing. It's yogic breathing. It's known to lower your stress, and it improves your cardiovascular function. It reduces anxiety. It slows down and lowers the heart rate. And the wonderful thing for me is that it balances the left and the right hemispheres of the brain. So it's bringing an all-round calm to the body. So I want us to learn it. Let's just let Temba in, so that you're not entering in the middle of this exercise. And then, okay, great. And then I am going to say, Brandon, so for the rest of the session, let's please not let anyone else in, because we're going to go into this breathing and we're going to go into meditation. And if anyone comes in at any time, it's going to interrupt the flow of what's happening in the room. Thank you. Good. So welcome, Temba. Lovely to have you joining us. I was just explaining, we went through a breathing technique. We're learning to understand the patterns of the mind and how they're associated with the breath and how that affects our stress and anxiety levels in life. What we are doing now is I was just teaching everybody the next breathing technique. So the next breathing technique I said is called the alternate nostril breathing. For the alternate nostril breathing, we're going to use our fingers to block, to open and release the left and right nostril to allow the breathing to happen. So all the work is going to happen with your right hand. Your left hand is turned up and it's just resting on your left knee or your thigh. So that hand's just resting down on your lap. Yeah. So with the right hand, I want you to look. So these two fingers, your pointer finger and your middle finger, is rested very gently at the point between the eyebrows. So that's rested at the point between the eyebrows. The thumb is resting on the right nostril. And the ring finger is resting on the left nostril. You could leave your little finger just off the nostril next to it. So this is what the starting position looks like. Thank you. So if anyone else wants to put your camera on, I can check that you've got it right. Thanks, Brandon. I saw you, Majaji, as well. So this is the starting position. Sharon, I see you. Thanks, Basiso. So 2 fingers rested in the middle of the eyebrows. Your thumb resting on the right nostril, your ring finger resting on the left nostril. So I want you to watch me first, and then you'll see how the breathing is done. And then I'm going to talk you through it. And all you're going to do is keep your eyes closed and listen to my instructions and breathe. That's all you're going to do. So to start the breathing, I close the right nostril with the thumb and I exhale with the left nostril. I inhale through the left nostril, close the left, open the right, exhale through the right. Inhale through the right, close the right, open the left, exhale through the left. Inhale through the left, close the left, open the right, exhale through the right. Inhale through the right, close the right, open the left, exhale through the left. So you're seeing this is simply alternating the flow of breath between the left and the right nostril. And we're going to really do long, slow, deep breaths in and out. And what you will start to see, you will start to feel how the different hemispheres of the brain are starting to slow down, rest, and relax. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take us into a little meditation. So how many of us have meditated before? Talk to me about meditation and how you guys feel about it. I'm pulling up the meditation that I want to do with you guys for today. How many of us know what meditation is? This is our meditation for the day. Okay, so what I think we're going to do is do the experience first. And then we're going to have a chat about it later. Kuselwa, you've never been able to get to it. Well done to you for clearing out time in your life and your day to day to try it out with us. I'm glad. For the rest of you, we're going to jump into it. And then afterwards, I'd like us to have a chat about it. So as I was saying, it would be nice if we can be in a quieter room or in a place where we don't have any distraction. I love it, Monet. Meditation is simply breathing yourself into the present. Breathing yourself into the present. A beautiful interpretation. So we're going to chat a little bit when we're done. I'm going to ask for you to just trust me. Just be here with me. Just trust me. If the kids are screaming in the background, if the cars are whizzing past, if the refrigerator is going in the kitchen, whatever's happening, the dogs are barking, your husband wants a meal, whatever's going on, we're just taking a few minutes out for ourselves right now. So I want you to stay with me, remain calm, stay with your eyes closed and just be aware of what is happening inside your body. Again, I'm going to show you the alternate nostril breathing just so that you see what it's like in action and you're going to do it afterwards. So here we go. In through the left, close the left, open the right, exhale through the right, inhale through the right, close the right, open the left, exhale through the left. That was one round. So if everybody can stay with me, keep your eyes closed. Let's get into that position. Let's get our hands ready for our alternate nostril breathing. Close our eyes. Let's start by taking a normal breath in and breathe out. Another normal breath in. Gently push down on the right nostril with your thumb and exhale through the left. Inhale through the left. Close the left. Open the right. Exhale through the right. Inhale through your right nostril. Close. Open the left. Exhale through the left. Inhale through the left. Close the left. Open the right. Exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Close the right. Open the left. Exhale through the left. Inhale through the left. Close the left. Open the right. Exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Close the right. Open the left. Exhale through the left. Inhale through the left. Close the left. Open the right. Exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Close the right. Open the left. Exhale through the left. Let's gently lower our right hand onto our lap. Keep your eyes closed. Keep that sense of calm and stillness about you. Let's take a deep breath in and let go. Again, take a deep breath in and let go. Listen to the noises around you. Is there traffic in the distance? Can you hear a fan? Are the dogs barking? Are there cars outside? Are the leaves in the trees blowing in the wind? Watch and listen carefully to any noises around you. Accept all the noises. Be in harmony with your environment. Take a deep breath in and let go. Become aware of your physical body. Your body is a beautiful gift to you from nature. Honor and respect your body very dearly. Take a deep breath in and let go. Become aware of your feet, your legs, your genitals, your abdomen, your stomach, chest, arms, your face, your head, and the whole body. Take a deep breath in and let go. Become aware of your thoughts. Whether good or bad thoughts, be in harmony with them. Do not resist your thoughts. Accept them as they come. Now you are in harmony with your thoughts. Take a deep breath in and let go. Become aware of your feelings. You are peace and joy. Become aware of your feelings. Take a deep breath in and breathe out. Become aware of your thoughts. Become aware of the sensations in your body. Become aware of the environment. Take a deep breath in and let go. And very slowly and gradually, when you feel ready, you may gently open your eyes. Okay, everybody. So we did some really gentle breath work to balance the left and right hemispheres of the brain. To improve our cardiovascular function, to lower our stress and anxiety level. And then for some of you, it was the first time we dipped into a very introductory level of meditation. So I'd like to hear from you. Please let me know how you feel after that.
Okay, can go. Yeah, it felt like I was sleeping, and I feel much calmer now after that technique, and also it's like I can hear things from far. I can hear cars on the road, that are far, and I can hear also the birds. Little things, little movements. I can hear them. Yeah. So I think it was quite helpful, and also I feel my body feels a bit lighter. Yeah, feels a bit lighter.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing, Oko.
Okay.
Amisha says, so relaxed. So happy to hear that. Sibasiso?
Can you hear me?
I can.
Yes, so yeah, that was, I think I was in heaven for a little bit. Yeah, that was one of the most relaxing things I've ever done in my entire life. I went through so many different phases. So in the first part of the meditation, for some reason, I could see myself, I could picture myself or imagine myself when I was in grade naught in primary, in crèche. So for some reason, that was like the most happiest time of my life. And I imagined that. And I also, then towards the later part of the meditation, I imagined me being at work, but not as stressed. So taking in everything and allowing or feeling every emotion that I could feel. So it was, yeah, I wish it went on for much longer than that. Thank you.
Thank you, Sibasiso. Thank you for sharing that. What an experience if it takes you to a different time in life. Steph says, sounds are so intense. I felt a sort of vibration and very relaxed. Lovely, Steph. Kuselwa, felt like I had an hour nap, quite relaxing. An hour's nap, Kuselwa. That's one of the huge benefits of meditation. 20 minutes of meditation a day is equivalent to between 3 to 6 hours of sleep a night. So, when you get these very, very advanced spiritual leaders in the world, very spiritual people, they hardly ever need to sleep. They'll sleep on average 1 or 2 hours a night, because this level of awareness and this ability to go inward really does bring in that rest. Amisha, what a great technique to shut out the noise and distractions. Haven't spent time with myself like that in ages. Majaji, aware of my surroundings. Thank you. Thanks for the feedback. I want to hear Sharon.
Hey, Raksha. Yeah, sure. I feel very, very light. And yes, I feel like I've also just had this long nap, and I had this stress on my shoulders, at the back of my neck, and it feels gone. It feels like it's completely gone. And I like Spoo, I wish it could have gone longer. I really enjoyed it. I'm so relaxed. Thank you.
Thanks, Sharon. Thanks for sharing. I know you and I have been chatting, and there's been so much going on in life and so many demands and being pulled in so many different areas. And can you imagine the gift? This is a gift to yourself. No one else is going to put Sharon in a corner and say, sit there, and I'm stopping everything around you. I'm creating this time for you. The only person who can do that is you. So very lovely to hear. And guys, just because people are saying I feel relaxed and I feel light, if you didn't feel that, I also want to hear that, please. There's absolutely no judgment. There's no right or wrong answer. And I'll also give you an explanation if there is a different experience. Orenia?
Okay, I was taking a bit on mute there. No, I actually felt like everyone else. I feel quite light. I just feel very light now.
Light. Have you meditated before, Orenia?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've attempted, but my mind just whiles out. Yeah.
Okay, good. Thanks for sharing. So, Nwabo? Oh. Lucky?
I'm actually feeling light as well.
Okay. Okay, good to hear, Lucky. Mone, I think the rest of you gave me feedback on the chat. If there's anyone else who wants to add to just the experience and from the before and afters, please feel free to do that. So I wanted to explain to you, because I know sometimes, I think one of you said, I felt like I was sleeping. I felt like I was sleeping. So let's talk a little bit about what meditation is. And I think it's really important for us to have this chat, because there's a lot of confusion and it's become a buzzword in society. Oh, Steve Jobs meditates, and all the big successful entrepreneurs in the world make sure that they're making, Richard Branson, everyone's very big on meditation. And Western society also has really embraced it. So, you know, when Western society takes something, it just goes like wildfire across the world. But obviously something that originated in the East, something that actually is very, very simple. And there's almost an understanding that the West has almost complicated it. Whereas I wanted you to experience today in its true authenticity, in its truest authenticity, meditation is simply the art of doing nothing. So it's not concentrating, it's not deconcentrating, it's not visualization, it's not breathing to bring myself in the present moment. It's absolutely none of those things that require effort. In fact, to the contrary, it is the ability to simply sit and be with yourself. So the breathing technique, the alternate nostril breathing technique that we did at the beginning, is an exceptionally good technique to do before you are going to go into meditation, because it helps get you quicker, get you in there quicker. It helps to quickly relax the system and get you into a calmer state of mind so that you can access a more relaxed meditative state. The other thing that meditation is absolutely not is sleeping. And there is a tendency, I've done marathon long meditations where I have fallen asleep, but the intention is absolutely not to fall asleep. The intention is to sit in conscious awareness. So even though I'm resting and relaxing, I'm conscious. I can hear what's going on around me. I can smell what's going on in the room. All my senses, apart from my eyes, are still activated. I'm still aware of my surroundings. There shouldn't be judgment around, why is it so loud here? I mean, I have a friend who is so committed to meditation. I remember once we were sitting in Monte Casino in Johannesburg, and it was her time for daily meditation. And we were sitting in, I can't remember, in the food court or having something to eat, or I can't remember what was going on. But in that food court in Monte Casino, she sat solidly, calmly, no big drama. I need to clear a space. I need a solid, comfortable chair. I need to sit in a certain position. I need to cross my legs. All of that is imposed on us by media. I need to wear yoga clothes. I need to be able to sit cross-legged. I need to sit like a yogi. I need to wear the right clothes. Absolutely not. For me, there is such a humility to meditation because there's such an acceptance of just be who you are and be where you're at and meet yourself. That's the gift of it. So it's simply the act of not making an attempt for anything, not trying, I sat in a room where people would say, I saw stars, I saw visualizations, I saw stars, this message came to me, and that is absolutely beautiful. It's wonderful. I think it's you, Basiso, who's saying, I could almost feel the grade 1 version of myself that was so free and carefree, footloose, fancy-free, carefree in the world. We want to reach that state, but we shouldn't judge ourselves. Oh, he felt that. Why didn't I feel that? Or she's feeling that, or I'm supposed to feel that. There's no, I'm supposed to feel this. I'm not supposed to feel that. It is completely unique for each body. I want to take us back. I want to remind you, we spoke about the 4 main sources of energy in the world. The 4 main sources of energy for our bodies are food, sleep, the breath, and a calm and meditative state. So those aspects of food and sleep, food includes drink, okay? It's anything that you consume. So those 2 aspects, the food and the quality of your sleep, will then determine the quality of your breath and then the quality of your calm and meditative mind. So you want to keep your food light and healthy. You want to keep your food as fresh as possible, not cooked until it's dead, not too heavy that takes the system a long time to process. If the system is so busy processing heavy, dead food, all your energy is taken to process, digest, work through that food versus higher levels where your energy is needed to help you to cope with life. So that is simply the logic around food. So you want to try to stay on lighter food if you can, if you are not vegetarian, if you can for a day or 2, look into vegetarian, fresh fruit, vegetables, lots of salads, lovely clean water, fresh juices, minimize the sugar intake, because all of that pulls from the energy that you need. So the stuff we spoke about right at the start of this conversation. I feel anxious, I feel overwhelmed, I feel worried, I feel concerned for my business. I've had this happen in my business, I've had that happen in my business, all sorts of things. It is our energy that is pulled into other areas in the body that is not helping us to cope better. So I'd really like to implore you to pay attention to your food, your liquid intake, and the quality of your sleep. Sleep is sacred, guys. There's a whole lot of guidelines that can be put around how we sleep. I had really bad habits. I could only fall asleep very, very late. And then I would still want to function in the normal world by waking up very, very early. And there were all sorts of stimulation around me all the time, whether it's television, cell phones, constant light in the eyes with blue light, which keeps the brain activated, which doesn't allow the serotonin to settle and for the brain to rest. So you want to start becoming really conscious of your environment when you need to rest and when you need to sleep. So what stimulating things can I cut out of my environment? Can I remove television too late in the evening? Can I remove cell phones in the room, charging in the room, in the bed, next to me, with me? Can I make my environment more conducive, more comfortable, more quiet, more peaceful towards sleeping, so that that quality of sleep gives us the energy that we need to deal with whatever the demands are in life? Remember, your sleep is also affected by what's sitting in your tummy. So what digestion is still going on? So you want to eat your meals early enough that it's not, your tummy is not working so hard trying to digest while you're trying to sleep. So really become aware of small little health tweaks that will help you. I have a a close family member who's constantly stressed, constantly complaining about how hard life is. I'm just not coping. He's the problem and she's the problem. And they said this to me and they didn't. Everyone's nasty to me and nobody loves me and this is not happening. Very close family member who's constantly complaining about this stuff. And my question is always, are you helping yourself? Are you helping yourself? So with us, especially as entrepreneurs, the pressure's double, triple, quadruple, where there's multiple parties to take care of. Clients, suppliers, finances, keeping the business afloat, staff, family, friends, all the normal demands of society, communities, spiritual communities, all these demands that are pulling us in life. Are you helping yourself? Am I taking care of my 4 sources of energy? Am I ensuring that I'm eating the right foods at the right times? That's lowest impact in terms of digestion on my body. Am I getting enough sleep? And am I getting quality sleep? So when I get up in the morning, even though I slept, am I feeling absolutely exhausted? My food, my sleep. Am I taking the time out to breathe? Guys, I can't tell you, breath work is such a huge part of my life. There isn't a day in this world, in this life, that I get up and I don't do breath work. It's usually an hour a day in the morning, yoga, breath work, and meditation. If I'm really pressed for time and there's a lot going on, it's at least 30 minutes. But that breath work, I cannot tell you, it takes me into just a different state. And it's like my armor. I'm putting on my armor each day to go out there in the world and face whatever it is you have to give me. I can handle it. And the people in my life who are close to me will know. They bring it to me. Everyone brings everything to me in my life, my family and my friends. There's almost a sense that, oh, Raksha can handle it. And I do handle a lot with healthy boundaries. So breath work, understanding and honoring breath work for yourself and your body. We've learned 2 breathing techniques today. We've learned the energizer breath. I want you to remember that and pay attention to when your energy is dipping and if you need it to help pick you up. Or the opposite end of the spectrum, I am completely highly strung. I am wired, I am stressed. I've got so many things to do. I've got exams and children and job and business and life and meals and all sorts to do. Can I just take 10 minutes out? Can I just sit in alternate nostril breathing, get the long, slow, deep breaths in and out to balance the left and right hemispheres of the brain and to start feeling better? And then as the final, a calm and meditative mind, a calm and meditative mind. So am I able to, you know, guys, there's, I'm sorry, I'm reading your comment here. Thanks, Brandon. And I lost my train of thought. There's so many places where we can access meditation. I'm sure if any of you are on Facebook or Instagram, there's constantly ads coming up, or I don't know if the algorithm feeds it to me because it knows it's an area of interest for me, but there are many apps that exist out there. One is called Calm. There are lots of free apps that exist out there for you to do meditation with. So what we did right now is a form of a guided meditation where you are following the sound of my voice, you are following my instructions to take you through a deeper state of relaxation. You do not always need this. You can purely meditate on your own. You can sit in complete silence, bring your awareness to your breath, and just allow yourself to dip deeper. If that's too jarring for you, if that's too much of a challenge for you, there are endless meditations on YouTube. Endless, endless, endless. I have friends who fall asleep with meditations, wake up with meditations, have a meditation for when I'm feeling angry, when I'm feeling tired, when I'm feeling anxious, when I'm feeling happy, when I want to celebrate. They are guided and they are original meditations for all sorts of things that are happening in your life. Interesting comment there, Majaji. You could smell grass once when you meditated. That's very interesting. There's different things that happen on different levels. So the other thing is to not judge it and not observe it. Why did I have this experience? Why didn't I have that experience? And yes, I've got a direct message with one of you saying, at times it's hard to focus. So a tip that I'll give you when you do want to meditate, if you are finding it hard to focus, it happens to all of us. And remember, I was telling you about the past, the present, and the future. And my awareness is that I live a lot in the future. I want to plan and know and do and get things done. So when I sit in meditation, there's often a tendency for me to go, oh, it's 5:35. I need to be out by 6 o'clock. I think I'll take 5 minutes to do that. I think I must get this client email off. I must remember to cook the oats before I leave. Whatever. There's a whole lot of thoughts that go on. It's completely normal. Here we are normal human beings. I'm not asking you to do this and expecting that this is going to be 100% from day one. But a quick tip to help bring yourself to the present: keep your eyes closed, stay inward, but bring your awareness to your breath. That's the quickest way. Is I'm inhaling now, I'm exhaling now. Just bring your awareness to the breath. You don't need to bring logic into it. For how long am I breathing in? For how long am I breathing out? Must I hold my breath? Must I not? But just gentle awareness on your breath. Bring awareness to your breath. If on another level you're finding that, oh God, my mind is running, I am planning my meeting, I'm writing up the emails that I need to send to clients, which is, I'm guilty of that. I literally structure my emails when I'm sitting in silence. It's to take your attention to the point between the eyebrows here. You're not going to touch it. You're not going to put heat on it. You're not going to twitch or anything. You're going to keep your eyes closed, and you are just going to bring your gentle awareness to between the eyebrows. You're going to bring your awareness to the breath, and you'll find that you'll center again. So I was asking you to apply your minds to where you live. Where do you live? Do you live in the past, the present, or the future? You've spent 1 hour and 40 minutes with me. In that time, you thought about, oh, what do I need to cook for dinner? Am I feeling cold? Do I need a jersey or a pair of socks? What are the children going to eat? What's happening tomorrow morning? What time do I have to get up? Do I need to fill petrol in the car? What are all the thoughts that went on in your mind? I want to hear from you. Are you living more in the past or in the future? Sanwabo, I also live in the past and future. Meditation helps so much. I feel so calm, relaxed, and Sanwabo, you don't feel exhausted. I cannot tell you how happy I am to hear that, because you and I have been journeying and I keep hearing this consistent exhaustion. So I want to invite you to practice again tomorrow, and the day after that, and the day after that. And then when you and I meet again in 2 weeks, you're going to tell me how you're feeling. So everyone, my question to you, are you living in the past? Are you living in the future? Are you living in the present? And can you link or associate any of the emotions that I spoke about with where you are living at? Talk to me. Very normal, Majaji, past and sometimes in the future. I hear you. Everyone else. Rapelang, nice to see you. Are you there? So the final thing that I want to talk to you guys about before we leave for the day is mindset. Mindset. So we spoke about mental health, we've spoken about breath work, we've looked into some breathing exercise, we've looked into meditation. I want to talk to you about your mindset, because we do realize, and I keep referring to these notes that I took at the start when I spoke to Nogo, Tapiso, Spesiso. The words that you were speaking about were uncertainty, losing control, uncertainty and losing control. Thank you, Majaji. The world unfolds the way it does. Things happen in life just the way it does. It is divinely ordained. I don't know, this definitely isn't a masterclass on religion. That is absolutely not it. But I'm going to use the word faith, because it's not a religion-specific word, but it is a way of being. And faith doesn't necessarily mean I need to believe in a God, or I need to believe in an all-pervading presence, but that something is out there taking care of everything, or that something is out there deciding how everything needs to unfold. And I want to say to you that we 100% do not have control over it. So when you've been talking about, I get so stressed because I'm losing control, there's a much higher power out there that is smiling down at us going, you think you in control. You little Raksha in your little corner in KwaZulu-Natal, in this planet of a gajillion people. So we can choose in every moment how we respond to things that happen to us. Fine, when things are really big, when they're really intense, when they're really dramatic, when they're really emotional, sometimes we don't always have control over our reaction or response. I got really angry. I got really sad. I needed to cry. I needed to swear. And I mean, just yesterday, I had an outburst with someone who was simply not allowing me to explain myself or have my say. And eventually it was an outburst. You're being unfair to me. You're not letting me speak here. And then I quickly pulled myself toward myself. After that, I allowed myself to be human. But after that, I had to go, okay, now I have control over how this situation unfolds. So, okay, let's talk about this. Why are you feeling misunderstood? Why are you feeling like you're not being heard? Let me hear where maybe you misinterpreted me. Similarly, something happens in life. We lose a loved one. I get COVID. I end up in the hospital, or I lose a big client, or I get a big client, or something happens in the business and one of my compliance lags because some PAYE wasn't paid on time, or some SARS VAT tax return wasn't done on time. Things happen and we are allowed to get upset with it. But that emotional reaction is allowed, it's real and it's human. But the more we practice mindfulness and the more we practice bringing ourselves into the present moment, the duration of that highly emotional response gets smaller and smaller and smaller until we get to a point where you are in complete control over how you respond. And I think that's the key. That's the key. I don't know, I'm trying to remember who it was. It was Tabiso, who was talking about losing control. I don't like losing control. And this is the facade that we live in, this false reality that we are in control. So the minute, at that point where we are able to practice mindfulness, mental awareness regularly, that awareness comes much quicker and we're able to get on top of the situation quicker with less emotion to say, okay, this happened. This is what I can do. This is what I can't do. And this is how we'll go forward. So there's an aspect of centeredness and stability that comes when we are able to go within all the time. Because what happens is we're responding to everything externally. So guys, I wanted to leave the last 15 minutes for us to have a chat, if you like. I want to hear from you on where you are at, if there's any specific challenges that you're experiencing in terms of your mental health, in terms of business, in terms of mindfulness, that I can maybe guide you on. I just want to look into some of the comments that have come through. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Sharon. You're sending me direct messages, so I don't know if I can share them. Kuselwa, days are different, both past and future. However, to cope, I return to my present and allow the Almighty to take control. It's exactly what I'm speaking about, hey, Kuselwa, that there is this tendency to live in the past or the future, but when we have the courage to live in the present moment, there's a faith that takes over. Even if the reality is not unfolding the way I want it to, even if, like one of you was saying, everything went wrong, everything was going wrong, everything was so stressful, everything felt like it wasn't going to work out. Even in sitting in that discomfort and that uncertainty, there's a power in a knowing that all will be well. There's a power in a knowing that I will come through this. And practice of these mindfulness practices will help you to feel a lot more centered to cope with that better. Good. So does anybody have any comments, questions, anything you want to ask, anything specifically related to your life or your business or your specific circumstance? We'll spend the last few minutes chatting. Kuselwa.
Thanks. I just want to share an experience to my fellow entrepreneurs. I've been in the space of being an entrepreneur now for almost 6 years. And I've had ups and downs. And I think throughout the ups and downs, I've learned that what is presented to us as a challenge or something that seems bad, when a bad experience, can sometimes present itself as a blessing. in the sense that it allows you to become a better person, to fix something within yourself, to be able to then become a better person. I associated a lot with religion. So I'm not going to try and bring religion into this discussion, but just it really, how I've seen it, I've just said, wow, if I've gone through this, it's a blessing. What am I learning from this lesson that is going to make me a better person? And that is how I've managed to cope and actually grown from the various challenges and or experiences that seemed negative at the time, and whatever, and then it allows you to then, whatever experience you go through, you need to see it in a positive light to take it further and move from that. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but anyway, I just thought I'd share that because that really has been the highlight of my journey, one of the highlights of my journey.
Thank you for sharing, Kuselwa. And I think that the key to what you're saying has nothing to do with the good scenario or the bad scenario, or whether it was good or bad, or it caused challenges for you or not. It has everything to do with your mindset around it. Another entrepreneur who may have journeyed the 6 years that you've journeyed would say, this was a war. I feel like I'm at war. It's one train wreck after another train wreck. I'm putting fires out. It's such a damn challenge. Don't ever start a business. Do you hear what I'm saying? It's the only influencer here is you and how you are interpreting what has happened. So again, we can choose to see every challenge in life as an opportunity and as a lesson, or we can choose, the world hates me. I'm such a victim. Nothing ever works out for me. I just knew this was going to go wrong. So I love it. Thank you for sharing that. But I want to put it back to you to say it's your mindset that has allowed you to reach this point where you are seeing every challenge as an opportunity. And I've got to tell you, if you can live life in that way, you will live a much lighter life. I'm not saying challenges won't come, but the way in which you manage or approach challenges will be much lighter. Thanks for sharing that. That's really lovely. Mone, am I saying your name correctly all this time?
Yes, you are. I think adding on to what Kusela said, I think an important element of what she was talking about is really acceptance. I think that's where it begins, the making peace with the situation that's at hand, because I think a lot of what causes us stress is not accepting the situation, which is anyway out of our control, because we can't control everything, but we can only control ourselves, right? So the lack of acceptance and then trying to manipulate the situation into what we think it should be or how it should be fitting, and we spend so much time stressing on what is actually unchangeable, whereas it starts with the acceptance of, okay, this is it and it is what it is. How do I respond?
Thank you. Beautiful point. Such a beautiful point. It is the first step in actually solving a problem or moving into solution mode. The brain will never be able to conceive a solution for a problem if it hasn't accepted that the problem exists. You with me? So often, and the quickest example for us to look at, because I'm sure every single one of us has experienced this, is a loss, a death of a loved one. The instinctive reaction is such rejection of this reality. I refuse to accept that this person is no longer living on this earth. And then with time or with some reality check or something, that acceptance comes. That's the most dramatic example I can think of. But with other problems in life, it's exactly the same. We're never, ever able to move into solution mode. So I want us to move this kind of thinking into ourselves and our personal lives. Okay, I understand I live in the past too much, or I live in the future too much. What must I do about it? Or, okay, I understand this specific client makes me anxious, or this scenario makes me angry, whatever that is. The first key to that is awareness. Awareness for yourself, awareness. So like I'm saying to you, I will sit in meditation every single day, but maybe, 45% of it may still be in planning. That's my awareness. I'm not saying that I'm right or I'm wrong or I'm bad or I'm good. That's my awareness. And because I'm aware of it, I will start doing what I need to do to start shifting it if it is important to me. So acceptance and awareness. Love that, Mone. Thank you. Lovely questions come in from Majaji. Majaji, nice. Mindfulness and meditation are sometimes used interchangeably. Are they the same thing? Beautiful question. Absolutely not the same thing. Mindfulness and meditation. Meditation is an actual practice of going within and being still. That is meditation. Meditation is a mindfulness practice. Breath work is a mindfulness practice. Healthy eating is a mindfulness practice. Exercise is a mindfulness practice. Reading personal development books is a mindfulness practice. So mindfulness has, again, a term that has just been taken by the West and used to the hilt. But in the term that you're talking about, mindfulness is simply becoming aware of your patterns and your habits. And in this practice, it's about putting things in place to improve on those. So do I live a mindful life? Do I have mindful moments? I'd like you to switch that on for yourself if you haven't already, but that's the difference between the two terms, the difference between meditation and mindfulness. Good. So anybody else in the room, any comments, any questions, any feedback, any practices that you maybe have done that have worked for you from a mindfulness or a mental health perspective? Let's hear from you, Jayashree.
Hey, Raksha. So lovely to see you online. So lovely to see all the entrepreneurs still online as well. So I like listening to soothing meditative music, and I know you love music as well. So I think that's really, really helped us, just with taming the mind, centering our thoughts, helping with breathing. So music tends to play such a major role in all of that. So I just wanted to add, music has played a huge role as well in the meditation part of the way we want to deal with things.
Thank you, Jayashree, and thank you for joining all the way from Zurich while you're on your trip. We appreciate you making the time for us. And I love that you shared that because it sparked a point that I wanted to make for you guys as well before we jump over to you, Spoo, is that meditation or mindfulness practices don't necessarily need to be those pictures that we see in magazines or on gym walls with this perfectly shaped body in the cutest gym clothes, sitting on a yoga mat, cross-legged for hours and meditating. Many people find meditation in walking. I have to tell you, I find walking very meditative and I walk every day. So it brings a calmness and a centeredness to me. People swim, find a meditative state of mind from swimming. People run, people do different activities to access the space of centeredness and a mindful place of mind. So it doesn't necessarily have to follow this traditional route. The tools that I'm teaching you today are because I have used them personally in my life. They don't require any money, any investment. All they need is your time and your own body. And they're a very quick way of getting to that space of centeredness. So breath work, meditation, very big, very, very, very effective ones, in addition to things like music, exercise, etc. Good point. Thanks for sharing, Jayashree. Sibisiso.
Thank you, Raksha, for the opportunity again. So I just also wanted to share something that has also been helping me through the past couple of months. So I went to see a psychologist. I was seeing a psychologist, and then they just taught me the art of gratefulness, basically. So just being grateful of everything that's happening, of the now. And now that you had mentioned, I think now it connects to everything that you are mentioning in this whole session of being in the present. So what my psychologist said is, she said that look at your life, like look at everything that's going on. So it could be worse. So she was very frank. I think she knew that being frank is the only thing that could get through to me. So I think she caught that on very early on, and she hit me with it. So she said, look at our lives. Look at where you are at the moment. Like it could be worse. You are complaining that you can't get funding for that new machinery that you want, but you've got machines. You still have clients. You still have orders. You still have this and this and that. People have lost so many things through this pandemic and so on. But you are crying, but things are okay. So if you can learn to be grateful of what you have in the now, I think things will turn out better. And I've started practicing that, you know. And after I've learned that, I think things just start falling into place. You know, I've told myself that whatever I can do, I do, and whatever I can't, I can't. And then, but at the end of the day, things still turn out to work out. They turn out for the best, I guess, or how they should be. Now, one of my friends said that everything that's going on is, or whatever happens, that's exactly how it should be. That's the life that is planned for us. And so yeah, I think for us who suffer from uncertainty and everything, I think maybe this could help. For some, just be grateful for where we are, for also the challenges that we are facing at the moment. Like one of our other colleagues said, that it could be a blessing in disguise, you know. So yeah, I hope it helps somebody.
Thank you, Subasiso. Thank you so very much. Such a beautiful one, and it's a very deeply personal one to me. So I think I'll leave you with my two very personal ones for a more mindful life is definitely gratitude and a daily practice of gratitude, but also when I'm at my lowest and I feel like I just cannot, and I can't make sense of the world, and I'm falling into victim mentality. Why me? Poor me. This is wrong and that is wrong. I give of my energy. I give of my time. I go out there and do some service for someone who doesn't have and who needs it. It's a very quick, beautiful reality check on actually, you are so blessed. And there are people there who have absolutely nothing. And it quickly sets that back into balance for me. So thanks for reminding us, Boo. I think that's a beautiful one. Beautiful one. Jayshree, did you raise your hand again, or was that the previous one?
Nope. It's done. Thanks, Raksha.
Thank you so much. So everyone, I have absolutely loved spending 2 hours with you. I thank you so much for engaging. I think that when we do sessions like this, it just brings a much more, a deeper level of richness to a session like this when you are able to be vulnerable and share. And from the time we started, so many of you have shared some of the challenges you've faced and where you have had a tough time coping. I'm hoping that the tools are simple enough for you to practice in your lives, and do lean into them when you need it. And yeah, reach out to me or the Yidi team if there's any other way that we can support you guys. And we look forward to you going out there and thriving in all you do. And my final thought is for you to choose a wellness mindset in all you do in life. So take care and stay well, and I'll connect with you soon.
Thank you so much, Raksha. It's been an amazing masterclass. I think I'm definitely going to use the breathing techniques to calm me down whenever ESCOM happens. But again, thank you everyone for joining today. It has been an amazing session. And if you have any questions, I will be sending a feedback link to you. So please do fill out that feedback link. Thank you so much for participating, everybody who did. And like I said, if there's any questions, please do let me know. Have yourselves a wonderful evening. Is there anyone that would like to ask anything before we leave? All right, perfect. Thank you again so much, and have a lovely evening.